What is the Constitution? Some teach it is a living document to be interpreted for the current times. Others teach that it is a noble guide for governance, carved in stone with strict amending instructions. The simple fact is, the Constitution is a compact or contract, written for and by the states, which created the federal government. Is there proof of this? Of course there is. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, as well as all the framers, referred to the Constitution as a compact and a contract. In addition, Article 7 required that 9 of the original 13 states had to ratify, or buy into this new form of government, to make it legitimate. The Constitution then became the supreme law of the land and created the general government. What does ratify mean? It means the same today as it did in 1787. Ratification is the formal process of accepting a contract, compact or treaty. Article 7 of the Constitution also identifies the stakeholders, or the parties to this compact, who possess the authority over and oversight of this compact. Those who possess the oversight authority are the states. This oversight authority is also supported by Article 5. Before any changes can be made to the Constitution or this compact, 3/4 of the states need to ratify or accept the change. Keep in mind the ratification process of the Constitution was not a binary blind vote. Delegates who were chosen to ratify the Constitution read and thoroughly debated its substance and meaning line by line. In fact, these debates actually clarified the terms of the compact in a sundry of ways, thus making these definitions and clarifications legally binding in accordance with contract law. To be clear, the Constitution was, and is today, an enumerated constitution, not a general constitution. An enumerated constitution means that only specific powers are delegated to the general government which are listed in the compact. Just like any contract, a general constitution is similar to a general power of attorney. All general powers are delegated to the government. It is the government's discretion as to what powers they choose to exercise. This is not the United States Constitution. To support this concept, all of the original states, immediately after ratifying the Constitution, submitted amendments they wanted added to the Constitution. Madison's first order of business in the new Congress was to create a Bill of Rights. As Madison wrote in the preamble to the Bill of Rights, the conventions of a number of the states, having at the time of their adopting the Constitution, expressed a desire, in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added, and as extending the ground of public confidence in the government, will best ensure the beneficent ends of its institution. The two amendments that all states demanded were the 9th and 10th Amendments. The 9th Amendment ensured that the rights of the people could not be denied by the enumerated powers in the Constitution, and the 10th Amendment pointed out that all powers not delegated to this new general government are reserved to the states and the people. When a minor deviation in the Constitution was desired, the only mechanism to change a process, role, responsibility, or power of the general government was to follow. Article 5 spells out exactly how the Constitution may be amended. The framers not only amended the Constitution with the Bill of Rights, but they also amended the Constitution to add clarification to judicial powers in the 11th Amendment. And they also amended the Constitution to make minor changes to the Electoral College and process of choosing the president. These 12 amendments set precedents that statutes and regulations could not be used to make minor changes. We are not following this process today, because in the mid-1800s the general government decided they no longer had to follow the Article 5 process. President George Washington in his farewell address stated, "If, in the opinion of the people, the distribution or modification of the constitutional powers be in any particular wrong, let it be corrected by an amendment in the way which the Constitution designates. But let there be no change by usurpation. For though this, in one instance, may be the instrument of good, it is the customary weapon by which free governments are destroyed." After the framers all died, the following executive departments were created without amending the Constitution according to Article 5. Interior, 1849. Justice, 1870. Agriculture, 1889. Commerce, 1903. Labor, 1913. Health and Human Services, 1953. Housing and Urban Development, 1965. Transportation, 1966. Energy, 1977. Education, 1979. Veterans Affairs, 1989. Homeland Security, 2003. These are not the only usurpations elected servants, and the unelected deep state have developed in subverting the Constitution, but these serve as an example of the many powers that the general government is exercising without the states formally delegating that power to the general government in an amendment. So what do the stakeholders of a compact do when their compact or contract is being violated? Most would say you go to court. No. There is no court in the world that has jurisdiction over things not delegated, in this case, matters not delegated to the general government. The only court possessing jurisdiction is the collective states, who must serve as both judge and jury to remedy the breaches in their compact. This process is referred to as Republic Review. Republic Review is the process where the states collectively audit the general government's exercised roles, responsibilities and powers, or RRPs, against those RRPs enumerated in the Constitution. All RRPs that are identified as violations must be disbanded and dissolved.